On their way to ski the remote backcountry of Montana are friends Matt Schuyler and Sam Kavanagh. Skiing is 25-year-old Sam's greatest obsession.
It's a pretty young age that I fell in love with skiing. I did it every opportunity I had, sometimes 4 or 5 days a week. When you stand on top of a mountain, it's literally like you can hear the clouds moving by, and you're the only person there. Matt shared that love and passion.
That's insane.
The forecast was for snow, so not only are we going into a place we love to be, but we're gonna have A+ conditions. It was going to be just perfect.
This trip is a rare chance for Sam and Matt to hang out with their 3 greatest friends. Waiting for them at the trailhead is Sam's closest buddy, Blake Morstad.
Haven't you finished yet?
Blake is a special guy. He is amazingly intelligent, and he is a physical powerhouse. He would give you the shirt off his back.
To Matt, Blake is more than a friend. He's also his brother-in-law. The final 2 members of the group are professional mountain guide Jason Thompson and emergency medical technician Chris Mackey.
We were all very excited about the skiing, but I think the overwhelming thing was just being excited to just be hanging out with the guys again.
I don't want to get stuck up there with you.
It's New Year's Eve, and to celebrate, the friends are heading out to ski virgin powder in one of Montana's most isolated areas.
It was extremely remote. We couldn't get emails. We couldn't get cell phone contact. But the whole idea of the trip was to go out and get some great powder skiing and have a blast doing it.
Their destination? The untouched slopes of the legendary Mount Nemesis. The mountain is famous for powder skiing and notorious for deadly avalanches. But the men have come prepared.
A high avalanche danger to us is not a stop. It just means you need to be on your A game. Each and every one of us carried a personal beacon and all the tools necessary to extract somebody from an avalanche. We were not a group of punk kids that watched some ski video and said, we're gonna go do that. We regularly ski similar conditions, and we were making good, solid judgments.
Come on, guys, we're losing light.
At the base of the mountain, the group ditch their snowmobiles and prepare to ski to their retreat. But to Blake, this is just another great adventure.
Blake was kind of like a young kid in a candy store.
First beer's on me.
And it was like, this is already off to a perfect start.
The friends have skied 8 kilometers cross-country to their base camp. They're now all set to see in the new year.
Happy New Year!
But Blake is celebrating something much more life-changing.
Okay, guys, I have a special announcement. Addie's pregnant. I'm gonna be a dad.
Wow, good luck to that.
It was a pretty momentous moment.
Good work, man.
Hey,
Didn't know you had it in you.
congratulations.
Blake suddenly was gonna have a little man looking up to him and exploring life for the first time. And so we took out the personal video camera, and I remember Blake toasting his wife.
Hey, Addie, I love you. I look forward to seeing Junior pretty soon here, too.
Happy New Year, Eddie!
We all fully expected that next year we'd be celebrating the craziness that was 2005.
On New Year's Day, there was well over 2 to 3 feet of new snow.
See you later, guys.
It was just perfect.
The skiing was phenomenal, so we were stoked.
That first morning, we strictly skied in the trees because the conditions for an avalanche were perfect.
A heavy snowfall has piled a huge load of powder snow high on the mountain slopes. Skiing too close to this fresh snowpack could trigger a lethal avalanche.
That morning, we were extremely sensitive to our surroundings. But towards the tail end of the day, we started to push the envelope.
Up there?
Yeah.
We started moving slightly higher, but in doing that, we were unconsciously taking more risk.
In their search for the perfect run, the young friends inch ever higher up the slopes, closer to the heavily loaded snowpack.
Let's do it. Yeah.
See you down there.
Finally, only Matt and his brother-in-law Blake are left up top.
You all right?
Go ahead.
He skied off. And that was the last time that I saw him.
300 meters down the mountain, Sam and Chris have finished the run.
There was just genuine excitement. Chris pulls out the camera and he looks at me, he's like, "So, Sam,
What'd you think?
That was awesome. But, gotta tell you, I'm exhausted.
As Chris powered down the camera, suddenly you could just hear this distant, faint noise. And I heard Jason yelling out, "Avalanche!" When you hear the word avalanche, there is just a sudden cold shiver that runs up your spine.
A terrifying wall of snow, weighing thousands of tons, is heading their way. Upslope, Jason is its first victim.
Right next to me was a tree. I grabbed it. I started to feel the snow vibrate. What I experienced, I can only imagine, is like being hit by a car. My world, the world that I knew it to be, had completely evaporated. And I was now being subject to something that was not going to spit me out until it was done with me.
It's a big impact when a wall of snow hits you at 100 miles an hour. It's like being tossed around like a rag doll.
All of a sudden, I was being tossed and turned, not knowing which way was up or down. It was black, it was violent, and I thought, I'm not going to survive.
To his horror, Chris Mackey realizes that the avalanche is sweeping him towards a dangerous precipice.
I knew that there was a fairly large cliff below me. There was also nothing I could do about it.
The nature of the terrain means that the sound of the avalanche hasn't reached 24-year-old Matt Schuyler up above. He's unaware of the disaster unfolding beneath him.
From my vantage point, I couldn't see anything, and I didn't hear anything.
He's waiting for Blake to shout that the way is clear for his run.
I was waiting for someone to yell, "Go ahead," and I waited and waited and waited, and I finally started yelling down,
Hello? Hello? Hello?
So I just kind of thought, I'll just go down there and see what's going on. And I just thought,
The avalanche has decimated the mountainside. Matt knows that down below his friends could be dead or dying.
Hello! Hello! Hello!
I thought everybody could be buried at this point. As far as I knew, I was the only one left.
Jason! Grayson Blake! Hello! Hello! Jason! Jason!
When I saw Jason, there was relief that there was somebody else with me.
Jason, are you okay? Yeah, are you okay?
Professional mountain guide Jason Thompson has freed himself from the avalanche. But he knows that buried under the suffocating snow, his friends have only minutes to live.
Let's move!
Jason told me to flip my beacon on and start figuring out where everyone was at.
Each one of the 5 is carrying a beacon that emits a signal to indicate their location, even if they are deep beneath the snow.
We got 3 people we have to dig up and get breathing again.
We got 10 minutes, max.
We have very limited time.
You take this side, I'll take over here. Blake! Chris! Blake! Chris! Blake!
Down the mountain, Sam Kavanagh slowly regains consciousness.
Moments ago, I was in the clutches of the avalanche. And there I am. I had floated to the top, and I'm only partially buried. The first person I could see was Chris.
Are you okay?
He's shooken, scared, but alive.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Somehow, despite being thrown over the cliff edge, Chris Mackey has also survived.
There's so much snow, and it's so powerful, I didn't even feel it. There was probably 2 seconds of weightlessness and then just a soft landing. There's a lot of adrenaline, realizing, wow, I'm okay. And then freed myself, turned on my transceiver to look for anyone else that could have been buried.
I could hear Jason and Matt upslope yelling out our names. I'm elated, you know?
Here. Yeah, here. Here.
Chris and Jason are okay. And I knew that Matt was okay because he's yelling out our names.
Miraculously, 4 of the friends are alive and accounted for.
Blake!
But Sam's best friend Blake is missing.
Blake?
Suddenly, it's not over. It's not okay.
Blake? Blake! Blake! Blake!
We have to find someone who's unconscious, buried, and we don't know where he is.
Blake!
It started to kick in.
Blake!
He's my brother-in-law, and he's buried somewhere.
Blake!
Blake has now been buried for several long minutes. Not only is his body being crushed by the compacted snow, he's rapidly running out of oxygen.
I was thinking, we're gonna kill this guy if we don't find him, you know, because this is taking us too long.
Blake! 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 Blake!
At the exact same moment, Jason and I both picked up the faintest signal on our beepers. We didn't even say anything, just pointed. The signal started getting stronger and stronger. It's going 40, 30, 20, and I start saying out loud, 15.
10. 9. 8.
All of a sudden, I could see the top of the backpack.
Over there.
Now that Blake has been located, it's critical they get to him and clear an airway, fast,
Start from below.
before he dies from lack of oxygen.
We're trying to get to his head to get him breathing.
Using their avalanche shovels, they start to dig. But the snow has become heavily compacted in the slide.
It was very frustrating. It was like digging up concrete. I threw my shovel aside and was just digging with my hands. I remember just thinking, we're losing him. He's right here, but we can't get him out.
Come on, Blake! Come on, Blake! Come on, Blake!
It was very frustrating how difficult the digging was.
Come on!
I just felt helpless.
30 meters away, Sam Kavanagh struggles to free himself from the imprisoning snow
Blake!
and help save his best friend.
I started trying to move around, and I felt this pretty intense pain. And that's when I finally looked down. My foot was facing 180 degrees behind me. And there was about 4 inches of my tibia bone sticking through my ski pants.
Despite his horrific injury, Sam is desperate to help Blake. But first, he will have to do the unthinkable.
And so I really just tried to prepare myself. I grabbed it, I spun it 180 degrees. And I tried to stand and walk and shuffle my way down the slope to find Blake.
Hearing the screams, EMT Chris realizes Sam is also in trouble.
I looked up and saw that he was in a very tenuous situation.
Sam, how you doing there, buddy? You okay? My leg's busted. It's really bad. Come on!
This is just shocking. There was a very big laceration on the side of his leg and quite a bit of bone sticking out.
It's gonna be okay, Sid. It's gonna be okay.
It's certainly the worst compound fracture I'd seen to that point.
Okay.
Chris is suddenly pushed to the limits of his training. He knows that an injury this severe, so far from civilization, could prove fatal.
We just need to get Sam stabilized, try to control the bleeding, and get him off of the slope. But we were still right in the middle of dealing with Blake.
We got him out!
Finally, after being buried for almost 10 minutes, Blake Morstad is pulled from his icy tomb.
At first, I thought, he's just passed out. We'll revive him. A couple pumps, and he'll cough up some snow, and we'll get out of here.
Blake has no life signs. Compressing his chest will simulate his heartbeat, pumping blood round his body and keeping his brain alive.
Man, come on. Pump his chest. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The situation is rapidly worsening. A storm front is closing in, and if it hits, any helicopter rescue will become impossible.
The weather was changing. That started to raise a red flag. I was really worried and concerned for my life. I didn't like the occasional whiff or smell that I would get from the decaying flesh. I knew that the life was slipping from me. But you have to hope that it's not over. My time wasn't done. I wasn't finished.
Down at the base of the mountain, Matt is still grappling with how to start Sam's snowmobile.
Sam is in a life and death situation. Nobody even knows.
We just couldn't delay anymore.
Chris decides he has no choice but to ski on.
As I'm out in the middle of this big field, I hear the snow machine, belch to life. And that frustration and anxiety quickly melted away.
Once they emerge from the shadow of the mountain, Chris fires up his mobile phone.
The first time we got half a bar, we called search and rescue.
Hello? Look, my friend needs urgent medical attention. Yeah, okay, but hurry.
I distinctly remember talking with the head of search and rescue.
Yeah.
He was very professional. He asked the right questions, and I said,
If ever you needed a helicopter, yeah, this is now.
Suddenly you hear this very faint thud, and it kind of drew a little closer, And then Jason came in, he's like, man, there's a helicopter.
They're coming.
And you could hear this helicopter closer and closer as if it's just right over our head. I'm elated. They're coming to rescue us. This is it. Then the helicopter would faint and it would go away.
Please! Come back!
We didn't know what was going on. Could they not see us? Because we could clearly see them. And Jason said,
They're coming straight back. I'm sure of it.
and the helicopter flew over. You could hear the rotors. And then they got a little quieter, and they disappeared. And it just went dead silent.
30 kilometers away, Chris and Matt have made it back to the safety of their truck, where news of the aborted rescue attempt is filtering through.
Search and rescue kept saying, we can't do this, it's not gonna happen. They were in the middle of a snowstorm. There was 60 inches of new snow. They just couldn't land, just couldn't happen. I remember Chris just telling him,
our friend is gonna die. You have to get there tonight.
I thought it was very likely that we were gonna come out of this with 2 people dead.
The rescue helicopter can't try again till daybreak, and the mood at camp is desperate.
There was anger, but I just had to try to make it to tomorrow.
But by now, Sam's leg is starting to decompose. And with no antibiotics to stop the spread of poisonous toxins, his organs are starting to shut down.
I needed to go to the bathroom, and I was trying to pee into a plastic juice jug.
Jason.
And so I talked Jason into letting me sit upright. And as soon as I swung my leg down, it was literally like somebody had opened a faucet.
Oh, God.
And the stench of decaying blood and bacteria-infested flesh was just compounding the fact that this was unsurvivable. I was scared and I was fearful. I had reached my limit.
In the backcountry wilderness of Montana, search and rescue air crews are grounded by a fierce snowstorm.
327, 2 miles.
2,000 meters up, Chris Mackey and Matt Schuyler have battled their way back to camp, where 24 hours ago, they left critically injured Sam Kavanagh fighting for his life.
When Matt and I arrived, there was a big relief that Sam was still with us. But he was in a very tenuous situation.
How are you, buddy? Hanging in there?
He had lost an incredible amount of blood. I'm not going to venture how much longer he could have lasted, but we were pushing that limit, I think. I knew that we were racing against time to get him to hospital.
It's a desperate dilemma. Any attempt to drag Sam down the mountain would trigger further blood loss and probably kill him. His only hope of survival is an airlift, but rescue helicopters can't land in the deep snow around the camp.
Matt, come with me, okay?
I remember Chris said, if you want a helicopter to come in here, start stepping on snow and make a helipad. I knew if the helicopter couldn't land, we were taking out a dead body.
It's early afternoon, and the storm rages on. But then a glimmer of hope. A medical team have fought their way through the blizzard. They'll try to stabilize Sam until the helicopter can land.
To have that level of expertise there was a big relief. They had antibiotics and some pain medication, and medically pretty much took over.
I was happy to at least be seen by a doctor for the first time. But when he opened up the bandage, he was shocked by the smell, by the infection, by the decomposition of the tissue.
By now, the decomposing tissue is so poisonous, Sam's condition has reached critical. A decision is made. Despite the risk, the friends will have to drag Sam down the mountain. It's a desperate strategy.
Okay, Sam, we're gonna drag you out, okay?
The whole group collectively began wrapping me in the sleeping bag. At that point, my injury was so bad, the probability of me dying halfway out was pretty high.
1, 2, 3.
I think there was a real concern that I may not be able to survive.
I don't know, but and it was just like, this is a nightmare. We just couldn't lie there and watch him die.
Okay, ready? Let's go.
Wait. Suddenly, we got word that the helicopter pilots were going to give it one more try.
Chopper's coming back.
We immediately started going to this makeshift landing zone that Chris and Matt had stomped out with their skis. Suddenly you hear the helicopter flying in, and it's getting louder, and it's getting louder, and it's getting louder. And now you can feel the wind and the rotor wash and crystals of snow hitting your face. For the first time in 48 hours, I didn't feel pain. I was taken away from that, and I was rescued.
Chris Mackey went on to study medicine, graduating from medical school in 2010. Today he works as a hospital doctor in North Dakota. Matt Schuyler still lives and works in Montana, where he has 3 young children. Jason Thompson continues mountain guiding around the world. Sam Kavanagh was flown to hospital, where following an emergency operation on his shattered leg, doctors forecast a further 3 years of reconstructive surgery. 2 weeks later, Sam opted to have the limb amputated. Today, he works in Montana as a civil engineer and cycles for the US Paralympic team.
I've become an exceptional biker. I walk in the mountains. I run around with my daughter and my wife. The whole experience has taught me to live life and to love life. But it's emotional to think of losing Blake. Not just because he was a great guy, it was because he left a part of him in my heart. It's great to know that I've had people in my life have that impact on me, because I know ultimately that makes me a better person.
The Pittsburgh Mountain. Standing at 3,300 meters, its razor-sharp ridge forms the border between the Swiss and Italian Alps.
People come from all 4 corners of the globe to do this climb and to test themselves on this mountain.
Infamous for extreme weather, it's a climb as treacherous as it is breathtaking. And even for professional mountain climbers, like Rachel Kelsey and Jeremy Colenso, it is the climb of a lifetime.
We started at 5 in the morning. Our aim was to get up and down the climb in a day.
That was fun. It was a wonderful feeling because we just moved so quickly and easily up this mountain. I was just so excited. You know, here I am doing a climb that I really want to do. And not only that, but I'm doing it with this very good-looking chap who I fancy.
Just great to be there with someone who's both a climbing partner, but also someone who you're becoming very fond of.
I was quite attracted to his quiet but confident nature.
Climbing.
And really liked a sense of adventure and just relaxed personality.
This romantic adventure is actually Rachel and Jeremy's first real date. The couple only got to know each other a few months ago while climbing in Great Britain.
We did a couple of local climbs together, and at this point I decided that I quite liked him.
We sort of hit it off, really, and a climbing partnership stroke friendship developed.
And then he said, would you like to come to Italy with me? I was totally bowled over, you know, taken aback. I had all these romantic visions of Italy and floating down the river on a gondola. But it very quickly became apparent that he was actually inviting me to go and do a climb. We planned and prepared meticulously. We looked at guidebooks, we got maps of the route. We worked out exactly what equipment we'd take. These little rucksacks hold about 20 litres, and in it we have just the essentials we'll need to succeed in this climb. So I have my waterproof jacket, an extra fleece, our hydration packs, the map of the route, and then we've got a couple of other things. One of them is a survival shelter and my mobile phone. And I remember tossing it up and down in my hand and thinking, shall I take this? Something just makes me think, oh, well, I'll just put it in. I can carry that extra weight.
Jeremy and Rachel are ascending the Pittsburgh mighty North Ridge. The grueling climb up and then down the mountain should take them 14 hours. Weather permitting, their plan is to be back at base camp well before nightfall.
We were making incredibly good time. We didn't feel like we were rushing. We felt like it was just going really well. Jeremy is ahead, the rope's leading down to me. And I get to this point where I pull over onto this boulder. The whole thing wobbles. My heart just leaps into my throat.
You all right?
These moments when things nearly go terribly wrong, you have to just take a few deep breaths and recollect yourself and then keep going.
If you're not scared at all on a climb, it's probably not the right challenge for you.
2 hours later, and Jeremy and Rachel have overcome the most technically challenging part of the climb. Now, over 3,000 meters up the North Ridge, the couple are only minutes from the summit.
We reach a point where there's a bit of snow. I'm feeling completely excited. We're in spitting distance of the top of this climb. The sun is out. It's just a wonderful, fresh afternoon, and it seems perfect.
But with only 30 meters to go, they face a crushing blow.
I could see that the rock had become like an icy pavement. But if you turn that pavement vertically and then try and climb it, you get an idea of what you're confronted with.
They didn't expect to face ice, so haven't brought the equipment needed to climb it safely.
We were probably 30 vertical meters from the summit, but I realized that that was the end of our climb.
That's okay, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
There is a feeling of disappointment there. There definitely is. But there's no time for that. You just need to prepare with the next section and get on with it. And the next section's getting down.
But unable to reach the summit, Rachel and Jeremy can't see a massive electrical storm that's brewing in the valley beyond.
Jeremy's working with the ropes to try and sort them out for the abseil. I look out into the valley below. And I notice these clouds swirling in. At the same time, I feel a sharp drop in the temperature. And I just know inside that this is heralding a storm, and we've got to get out now.
Jeremy, I think we better stop moving.
I can hear wind, which is like, it sounds like a freight train coming at you. And I realized the weather's turning.
Hi. Yeah, let's go.
Jeremy and Rachel know it's simply too dangerous to stay on the mountain.
So quickly we just get out our head torches, put them onto our helmets. We throw on our waterproofs and get ourselves prepared, basically for the worst.
They must rappel down before the storm unleashes its full fury.
Nemesis huge crack of thunder and the whole sky lights up with this incredible pink lightning.
We need to move, all right?
My heart begins to pound because 90% of accidents in the mountains happen on the descent, not the ascent.
And now they must attempt the perilous descent in the midst of a raging storm.
On a good day, with clear skies, descending down this mountain is a tricky task for an experienced climber. In a storm, it's just a nightmare.
Seeing the flash and hearing the clap of thunder simultaneously, we know that the storm is right on top of us. We are surrounded by metal, and we've got every chance of being hit by a bolt of lightning.
After 3 hours, they're not even a quarter of the way down. And as the light fades, the temperature plummets to -7 Celsius.
I'm suddenly aware of this sort of static feeling in the air, like the air is charged.
Jeremy's a very calm person, but I can see in his eyes that he looks worried. And I know that if he's worried, it's the time to be worried.
I've never been so terrified in my life.
And suddenly there's a huge explosion. I'm thinking we're not going to survive. It's incredibly hard not to panic whilst all hell is just breaking loose around my head.
In the heart of the storm, lightning is striking all around them.
Every time I hear the thunder crash, I think, is that me? Is that me? I don't know exactly how many abseils we've done. All I know is that we've been what feels like hours. Jeremy's setting off in the next abseil, and I just think there's something not right here.
I abseil past this block, and the rope catches behind the corner of the block. And I can't get the rope out.
It suddenly all clicks.
Jeremy!
This is that really wobbly boulder that we passed on the way up. And his rope has slipped right around it.
Rachel realizes that pulling the rope free risks dislodging the giant boulder teetering above Jeremy's head.
And I shout to him,
Don't break your rope! Jeremy! Don't break your rope!
he can't hear me. The storm is so loud, he can't hear me.
Jeremy has no idea that a quarter of a ton of rock, only meters from his head, is loosening with every single tug.
I hear this huge, terrible sound as it bounces down the mountain. There's no way he could have survived it.
Rachel fears that Jeremy has been swept off the mountain.
Eventually, I opened my eyes. It was a huge rush of relief and surprise to see him there.
I look up at Rachel. She's looking down at me, and I go, that missed me by that much. If it had hit me, that would have been me. I would have been dead.
He was ashen-faced and had these huge white eyes.
And I can't believe that's just happened.
And then he just put his head down and carried on abseiling.
Jeremy knows that if they are to survive, they must continue down the mountain. But the storm is intensifying.
Now I felt like our days were numbered, our minutes were numbered, and I just knew it wasn't a case of if, it was a case of when. But I had no choice but to go on.
As they press on, Jeremy and Rachel face a new challenge.
It was becoming increasingly difficult to find the features that we passed on the way up.
We pulled out our guidebook and we tried to work out where we were, and we just couldn't.
Can you see this? Here. Okay, look for that.
You're now looking at a different mountain, a different ridge to the one that you ascended.
Unable to see any landmarks, Rachel and Jeremy are lost. In this perilous terrain, choosing the wrong route could spell the difference between life and death.
We're now at a decision-making point.
What do you reckon?
I pointed down and he nodded.
All right. I hope you're right, eh?
Unable to see what lies below, they could be rappelling straight over a precipice. Jeremy insists on going first.
The last thing I remember seeing was the red hood and his head torch. And then I was alone. And it was very, very frightening.
I find myself on the lip of an overhang.
Heli Rescue, North Ridge, Pisbedeel, Switzerland. And then we pressed the send button. And it was like sending a prayer. The last chance of someone finding out that we were there before it was too late for us.
We turned off the phone to conserve the battery power. The focus is now on surviving.
While sending the message has given them hope, there is still no respite from the storm.
We were aiming for dawn, and we didn't know what dawn had to hold because, if anything, the storm just appeared to be getting worse.
Through sheer determination, Rachel and Jeremy have managed to survive the night.
It went from being black to grey outside, but daylight had no bearing on the temperature.
Each time the wind blows out, little ice crystals come and shower your body. We were becoming cocooned in ice, and literally our clothing was starting to freeze onto our body. I felt completely exhausted, just shattered. Every now and again, lightning would strike. At that point, I thought, if the lightning hits us, it hits us. At least it will be quick.
There's no way we can descend. It would have been a suicide mission.
Exhausted and hypothermic, trying to rappel off the storm-lashed mountain is impossible.
Let's see if we go to Nemesis.
I switched on the phone and we took a deep breath. And then we heard that sound. It was from Avery. He said, "I'm on the case."
Rachel's close friend, Avery Cunliffe, has received the message and contacted the emergency services.
It really gave me hope. There were now people out there who knew our situation, understood it, and were on the case.
But until the weather improves, any rescue attempt is out of the question. After 10 long hours, a break in the storm offers the climbers a glimmer of hope.
And then we hear a tiny, tiny sound over the wind.
Do you hear that?
Sort of whop, 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 and you can't tell if it's the wind or a helicopter. And then it gets louder and you become more and more definite, more and more clear that, yes, this is the helicopter.
Over here!
And I can see the helicopter and I jump up and down with the shelter in my hand and Jeremy stands there with his hands up. There was complete relief and elation.
We're out of here, you know, it's all over. This nightmare is going to end.
And I can see the pilot. And it's like he's so close, I can actually touch him. I'm waiting for this man or this rope to come out of the helicopter, and it doesn't happen.
We see this helicopter just being tossed about like a cork on the ocean, you know, up and down, left and right. And I just look at this and go, yeah, there's no way. It's just suicide from their point of view.
Trying to extract the couple in these weather conditions risks crashing the helicopter into the mountainside, killing Rachel and Jeremy, as well as the crew.
It's devastating. They were just so close, and yet a world apart from us. Jeremy hugged me and he said,
Hey, you know where we are, all right? They'll get to us. Don't worry, all right? They know where we are.
I had to say the right things, but I knew deep down that we were going nowhere.
As dusk falls, Rachel and Jeremy face another horrific night on the mountain. Rapidly succumbing to hypothermia, the couple risk losing consciousness and slipping into a coma.
we are very much on borrowed time now. And he squeezes me. And then I knew that I might not get another opportunity to say it, so I just said,
I'd rather be here with you than anyone else.
Me too.
It's horrible because we're not going to make another night. So we write a message to Avery.
We wanted them to know that if we were not evacuated within the next 12 hours, we would most certainly die.
It's a horrible, really horrible thing to do, to write to a friend of yours and tell them that you're not going to live. feels like there's no time at all, and then there's a reply, and I feel sick when I see what he's writing back to me. And he says, "Shall I call your family?" It was a chance to say goodbye. But it's like something huge wells up inside me, and I just said,
No, we're not gonna do this. We've got to keep fighting, Jeremy, we've got to. I can't say goodbye.
I just couldn't do it. We've got to keep on, we've got to keep going. I just couldn't bear the pain of the thought of saying goodbye.
But despite her determination, Rachel knows this is a fight they may not win.
I close my eyes and put my hands together, and I start praying. It's an incredibly humbling experience, praying for your life. I was vaguely aware of it getting light, but it was almost like it didn't matter anymore because I couldn't function anyway.
Against all the odds, the couple have endured a second night. But they're now losing the will to survive.
Well, your brain's shutting down because you're freezing cold. You just want it to end.
And then it just suddenly became apparent to both of us that the wind was dying down.
Rachel realizes that the weather is improving and seizes the opportunity.
I turned the phone on and I called the rescue team, and amazingly, when I dial this number, we get straight through.
Hello, this is Swiss Rescue.
Hello.
I said,
Rachel,
which I knew was my voice, but I didn't know what was coming out of it. It was like being drugged.
Hello, Rachel.
And I heard this really ecstatic sound on the end of the phone, almost like someone who incredibly surprised. They couldn't believe that we were actually alive.
Okay, we're going to send...
They tell us that they're going to make a rescue attempt at 7 o'clock. But I don't want to get too excited.
Jeremy and Rachel know this rescue attempt is their last chance.
They're coming.
Jeremy said it's coming up the ridgeline, and we couldn't see it yet, but we could hear the direction. And then I remember seeing this helicopter, and it looked tiny. This mountain is huge, and there was this tiny little black dot working its way towards us, and then suddenly it just became bigger and bigger, and then it was right there.
And then it hovers above me, and I can see the winchman at the door. I can see his face. I could see the cable coming towards me. that's when it sunk in that, you know, we'd made it. It's a fantastic feeling, you know, you've made it, and yeah, you're going to have another chance.
We've done it. We've survived, and I could smile. I knew we were alive now.
After 40 hours in bitterly cold conditions, Jeremy and Rachel are airlifted to safety. Thanks to their survival efforts, the couple suffered no long-term damage, and both made full recoveries. However, their experiences on the mountain did have a lasting effect.
Those 2 days changed my life. I'd set out with someone who I thought was good-looking, a good climber, and now suddenly here was someone who I had this incredibly close connection with. Someone who, as long as I lived, would be in my mind. Someone who would stand by me and be with me every step of the way.
I just realised that this person was, you know, the person I wanted to spend the rest of my life with.
Each day I wake up and I just feel so happy to be alive and so thankful. I'm now married with 2 lovely daughters. Every day is a blessing, every day is a gift.